allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Kathleen, roll call, please.
Phillips. Graham Murray.
Aye.
McCampbell.
Here.
Rinker.
Here.
Wilson.
Here.
Okay. On the agenda tonight, we have proclamation of retirement, 32 years of service. Seems like it's been 62, huh? Well, anyways.
Yes,
Mayor Pro Tem,
let's do that. Proclamation.
32 years.
Yeah. Whereas the City of Burlington honors Mark Hersberner for his long tenure of outstanding service to the citizens of Burlington, and whereas Mark has been an outstanding and dedicated employee for 32 years and 8 months. Mark began his employment with the City of Burlington on April 28, 1986, as a city code inspector in the Community Development Department, Building Code Administration Division. Mark became Code Inspector 3 on January 1st, 2012. He will retire from this position on December 14th, 2018. And whereas Mark has obtained and maintained numerous inspection certifications throughout his career, including building, electrical, plumbing, mechanical, and combination inspector's certification. Mark is extremely knowledgeable on code requirements, often correcting architects, engineers, and code instructors. He is known to be a walking code book to his peers. Mark has written tests for electrical and plumbing licensing exams. He has been and continues to be a code resource for inspectors across the state. And whereas Mark has worked to ensure buildings were designed and constructed in a safe and effective manner during his plan review and on-site inspections, his dedication, knowledge, and experience will be missed by his City of Burlington colleagues and citizens of our community. Mark certainly made Burlington a better place to live, work, and play. Now, therefore, we, the City Council of the City of Burlington, do hereby recognize and commend Mark Hersberner for his conscientious and faithful service. We extend our appreciation and our congratulations on a successful career and wish him the very best in retirement. Signed and sealed this 3rd day of December 2018, Shane A. McCampbell, Mayor.
Wait, hold on. But wait, there's more.
It's not complete without the hardware. So I'm proud to present you with this plaque that reads, "The City of Burlington hereby honors J. Mark Hersberner in recognition and appreciation of 32 years of dedicated service, faithful and loyally serving the citizens of Burlington. Retired December 14th, 2018, presented by the Burlington City Council."
Walking code book, come on down.
Thank you, my friend. Wow, I want to give you one of these. Whoa, what a deal. Thank you.
Congratulations.
I planned on staying here 5 years when we moved here. Didn't work out there. You think? Let's all get a picture with this bit. Oh, get out of here. 5 years. Put my cap back on so the glare doesn't kill me. No, this glare doesn't kill me. Don't worry about that. Thanks again, sir. Come on, man, come on.
Oh, wow. I really don't want to hear anything from it.
Yeah, we do. After 32 years of service, take your time.
Whoever drew up all this stuff, wow, somebody did a little bit of research there, but even spelled my name correctly, pronounced it very well. I'm impressed.
Sure.
It's been spelled many different ways. But like I said, we came here actually for my wife's job. I was an inspector in Platteville, Wisconsin before I moved down here. planning on staying here about 5 years until we move back to Wisconsin, but I mentioned that to Larry, and he says, oh, they probably, that's why you stayed longer, they wouldn't let you back in, so. That's possible, but I've had a lot of good times, met a lot of good people, seen a lot of city managers, planning directors, and everything in this length of time here. That I think we've got some very good staff right now, so.
Good to hear. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. You will be missed, my friend. You guys can get on out of here, but thank you for coming down. Thank you for your service. All right. Next on the agenda tonight is the consent agenda. All matters listed under item 1 consent agenda having been discussed are considered to be routine by the city council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If a discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. On the consent tonight, we have the usual finances and miscellaneous, minutes of previous meetings, payroll and city claims, beer, liquor, wine, and cigarettes, reports, and bonds. We have 2 resolutions. The first is a resolution approving nuisance abatements for various properties. The second is a resolution approving partial release of retention monies for Phase 5 of the flood wall. We have hearings set for December 17th, 2 actually. The first is a consideration of plans and specs for the 2019 DeEdwin and Gladys White Park renovations. The second is consideration of an ordinance rezoning a portion of property locally known as 1621 Dodge Street from R2 Single Family Residential Transitional to R4 Multifamily Residential Zoning District. And we also have one appointment, Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes, to the Human Rights Commission, Nicholas Gavin has expressed interest in that commission. And we thank you for your service up to that.
Well said. Is there anybody from the audience that would like to have any of these items removed from the consent? I see none. Council?
Your Honor, I have a motion to approve all items listed under item 1 consent agenda.
Second.
Moved in second. Kathleen?
Graham Murray,
Now I can say aye.
McCampbell,
Aye.
Rinker,
Aye.
Wilson.
Aye.
All right, we're gonna roll downhill tonight. Thank you very much. We have a hearing for consideration of an application to Iowa Economic Development Authority for the Micro Enterprise Assistance Pilot Program. Mr. Tislin.
Thank you. This is a pilot program through the Iowa Economic Development Authority. It is community development block grant funds, as well as private-public sector funds for those that apply, to be available to assist with establishment, stabilization, and expansion of qualifying micro-enterprises. Micro-enterprise is a business with 5 or fewer employees, one of whom owns the business. To qualify for funds under this program, a micro-enterprise must be owned by a low to moderate income individual or create at least one full-time equivalent position for a low to moderate income individual. We plan to apply pending approval by council by the end of December for the micro-enterprise assistance funds. This is a pilot program. Burlington was sought out as one of the communities to apply for these funds. It's something they're looking to determine whether this type of assistance should be included in future programming, so they want to see if it's successful. City could apply, will request $125,000 from the IEDA for the Micro Enterprise Assistance Pilot Program. The income limits are 80% of the median income for either the owner or the full-time equivalent. That amounts to, for one person, $38,000, 2 people, $43,400, 4-person family, $54,250, and 6-person, $62,950. This will take place in Burlington. We have had a couple, or a handful interested. We've had a couple so far submit their actual letter of interest, with 2 others intending to. We're looking to get 4 or 5 of those before we send that on, and we should have those in the next couple weeks or next week or so. Eligible activities under this program include purchase of equipment and supplies, inventory, working capital, job training, or other activities that assist with the establishment, stabilization, and expansion of the microenterprise. This is an application from the city of Burlington. We're applying for those funds, and then we have subrecipients or individuals that apply to the city for use of those funds. Each individual may qualify for up to $30,000. They have to show a $15,000 cash match from them. The loan or the assistance is in the form of a forgivable loan. The business has to stay open for 2 years for that to be forgiven. After that time, it's essentially a grant. If they close within 2 years, that money has to be paid back. So we have to secure collateral from a participant that applies through the city. We would run that through our attorney to make sure that what they're securing or supplying for collateral is sufficient and that we have the required documentation on that. That's kind of been for those that don't own their business, whether they own their home or something else would need to be secured for that collateral in case the loan does have to be paid back. But we're hoping that it is successful and can maybe spur on some of these smaller businesses to grow a little bit more and hopefully succeed over the next few years.
Right on. Questions or concerns from the audience? I see none. Council?
No.
Okay, can I get a motion?
Your Honor, I move that we close.
Second.
Moved in second. Kathleen?
Graham Murray,
Aye.
McCampbell,
Aye.
Rinker,
Aye.
Wilson.
Aye.
Your Honor, I have a resolution approving an application to the Iowa Economic Development Authority for the Micro Enterprise Assistance Pilot Program.
Second.
Kathleen?
Graham Murray,
Aye.
McCampbell,
Aye.
Rinker,
Aye.
Wilson.
Aye.
All right. Next is consideration of a lease agreement between the City of Burlington and Most LLC for use of Dankworth Park Pool.
City previously approved an agreement with Most for operation of the pool. Part of that was dependent on funding to get a bubble constructed to allow year-round use of the pool. That had been delayed somewhat, so the previous agreement was set to expire last fall. So that agreement and then a funding or contribution agreement were canceled, and they're being brought forward at this time for new approval. This agreement would be a 5-year lease agreement with Most LLC for operation of the pool during the city's off-season. The Southeast Iowa Swim Club is pursuing funds to construct a dome or bubble over the pool and condition the pool house for year-round operation of that. And then Most LLC would be the operator and leasee of that pool. This is set to commence after the close of the season in 2019, the city season, and then continue through August 30th, 2024. Part of this, they operate swim lessons for the city as well during the summer months. So there is a monthly lease payment of $2,000. That's every month, including when the city's operating it in the summer and those 8-9 months outside of the city use period as well. So a 12-month period they are paying the lease in consideration of using it for the swim lessons and then operating it outside of that. I guess a couple items within here just for clarification. It is the Most LLC or swim club's responsibility to put up the dome and take it down on an annual basis. That's not something that will be done by staff or not contributed by the city. That is their responsibility. The ownership of the dome, once it is up, remains with the Southeast Iowa Swim Club as well. The city will continue to maintain the pool in normal conditions, do testing of the chemicals as necessary Monday through Friday. Any unexpected costs over $10,000, the city shall have opportunity to review that and see what steps are necessary to either make those improvements or enter into some cost share agreement or otherwise to do that. But there's no obligation for replacement of something over that amount unless otherwise approved. But it is fairly similar to the agreement that was approved previously, just extended for a 5-year term, and then a couple clarifications just on whose responsibility is what, especially for the dome.
Questions or concerns from the audience?
I don't have anything else to add, but if you have questions, I'm happy to answer.
Council?
No, we've reviewed this numerous times, so.
Okay. I think we're good. Create a motion.
Oh.
That was
Motion to
John.
close.
Yeah, that was John.
Can I get a second?
Second?
Second.
Right on. Kathleen?
Graham Murray,
Aye.
McCampbell,
Aye.
Rinker,
Aye.
Wilson.
Aye. Your Honor, I have a resolution approving lease agreement between the City of Burlington and MOST LLC for use of Dankwart Park Pool.
Second.
Kathleen?
Graham Murray,
Aye.
McCampbell,
Aye.
Rinker,
Aye.
Wilson.
Aye.
Ordinances.
Your Honor, I have a ordinance motion for preliminary adoption of the second reading of an ordinance amendment to ordinance number 3220, an ordinance creating the Sunrise West Planned Unit Development PUD overlay district by making changes to section 4 land use requirements.
Can I get a second?
Second.
This is a minor change to the existing PUD for Sunrise West, specifically for lots that are, they're looking to plat on the east side of Cambridge Drive, north of Lavender Lane. Typically, all the lot, or homes on this, in this development have been on one large lot. Based on tax reasons, with the change a few years ago, more than 3 units on one lot would trigger a higher tax rate for them. So they're looking to have each individual structure on its own individual lot. We have changed our code in recent years to allow zero lot line development. This is not that, but it is kind of a similar concept that they want all the condos on their individual lots. So the PUD amendment basically sets out what the setbacks are for those lots, since there's now new lot lines running behind these lots and in between the buildings. And then also based on how the lot was originally set up, these lots will be 2 feet less deep than what our code requires at 98 feet. When there's one large lot, it wasn't, it still met our code requirements for a lot size, but with a subdivision, this will be 2 feet less, so it's acknowledging that as well. And then making sure these are zoned as R2 single-family transitional, which is the typical duplex zoning designation. So nothing really drastic in here. It's really just set up so that to allow for how it was being developed before on one large lot to convert to individual lots.
Questions or concerns from the audience? Anyone? I mean, you guys are fantastic tonight. Council?
Nope.
Kathleen?
Graham Murray,
Aye.
McCampbell,
Aye.
Rinker,
Aye.
Wilson.
Aye.
Number 2.
Your Honor, I have a motion for preliminary adoption of the second reading of an ordinance amending various sections of Chapter 161 Housing Code of the City of Burlington Municipal Code.
Second.
Thank you.
No changes from the previous reading on this, just making a couple updates to the housing code, specifically defining what a replacement window is, what those requirements are for openings within rescue windows or egress windows, electrical requirements and gas piping, making sure those match our current code so that the housing code is not more strict than what our other codes are. And then removing the requirement for hardware being placed in unfurnished units by the owner.
Pretty straightforward. Any questions, concerns from the audience? I see none. Council?
Good.
All right. Kathleen?
Graham Murray,
Aye.
McCampbell,
Aye.
Rinker,
Aye.
Wilson.
Aye.
Resolution.
Your Honor, I have a resolution approving contributions to the Dankwart Park Pool Dome Project.
Second.
Second.
Thank you.
Say that 3 times really fast, Matt.
So this was there was a previous agreement for funds to be used as local match for CAT grant application. They're seeking those funds still for assistance in upgrading or replacing the pool deck and other improvements there at the pool. As discussed previously, the city would, or staff recommended retaining a portion of those funds in case something did go wrong, whether it be a heater or something, that we'd have funds on hand to help do some replacements for some of those equipment that are aging, and we don't quite know how they're gonna, how long they're gonna last with year-round use versus 3-month use. So this does not go into effect until March of 2020, so the first 6 months would be retained by the city of those lease payments for $12,000, and then from that point forward would go towards the swim club. It is a reimbursement. If we don't have an active lease, there is no funds to reimburse, so It says up to $108,000. That's provided there's an active lease and we have a leasee paying the city for those months. Again, if, as they stated, if they back out of the lease or for whatever reason it cancels, they would certainly seek out someone else to operate that pool, and I would imagine there would be very little delay there, but if there is a delay, then the city would not be responsible to pay that amount to them if there's no lease on hand. So, again, our primary concerns was retaining some funds, because there is some unknowns there with insulating or operating the pool house during the winter, and then some of the equipment that is older that may need replaced on a sooner basis than originally planned.
Right on. Questions or concerns from the audience? I see none. Council?
Nope. Good idea. That heater goes out, it'd be like the polar plunge.
Thank you for bringing that up, my friend.
Be cold.
Let's vote. Kathleen?
Graham Murray,
Aye.
McCampbell,
Aye.
Rinker,
Aye.
Wilson.
Aye.
Okay. Now's the time that you've all come here and waiting for. Comments from the audience. Is there anybody from the audience has any comments? I see none. Bless your hearts. Mr. Tisland?
I just want to thank again Mark Hirschbrunner for his 32 years, and we have Craig Robinson retiring after 8 years, and the housing inspector as well here in the next couple weeks, so a few changes in our department. Adam, who's been our seasonal inspector, has kind of slid into that role, so that'll be a smooth transition.
That's good.
Great.
All right, it's good to see you clean shaven.
Yeah.
All right. Whatever.
I prefer you with the beard, Eric. I just want you to know that.
It wasn't your turn yet, but anyways, I knew you were
It
gonna
had
wait.
to be said.
Welcome to America. Peanut butter?
I'm so appreciative of the library staff. I had a issue with my book with the margins last week, and they really worked really hard to help me, so I was really appreciative of that. And then for our listeners who are planners, get your calendars out. Living Windows is coming up Thursday, December 13th from 6 to 8. That's always a fun event. You want to make sure you take advantage of that. Ice sculptures, carolers, puppet shows, treats, marshmallow roasting with the Burlington Fire Department, and all kinds of goodies are going on. Thursday holiday shop hop continues.
Yes.
So a lot of people don't know this, but the majority of retail shopping occurs after 5 p.m. So downtown is staying open so that you can be a big part of that. So be sure and shop local and take advantage of those holiday Thursday, I'm gonna get this right yet, Thursday holiday shop hops. There we go, after 5 p.m. on Thursdays. And then those of you that want to see Santa, the jolly old elf is going to be downtown on December 6th and 20th. And also coming up, Indoor Winters Farmers Market, Saturday, December 15th at the Capitol Theater from 10 to 12.
We're so blessed to have you down here. MPT.
I just wanted to give a shout out for Miracle on Jefferson Street, and that's put on by the Art Center of Burlington, and then there's some other fun things going around downtown involved with that, and that's on December 8th, and there's two different time slots, one from 9 to 12 and the other from 1 to 4, but yeah, you can either go to artcenterofburlington.com for more information, and I think you can sign up there, or just stop down at the Art Center on Jefferson Street. And that's all I have.
Right on. Counselor?
Happy to be back stateside. I want to thank Burlington Fire Department. They had to take care of a small issue I had while I was away. We had an apartment fire last week, so they were able to get everybody out and keep it from spreading, so I appreciate that. We have Shop with a Cop coming up this weekend. So if anybody wants to see one of the best parades that you'll ever have the opportunity to see, I would encourage you to go to Mason Road at approximately 12 o'clock on Saturday, and you'll have the opportunity to see about 40 squad cars go down the road, and all of the lights and sirens will be operated by the third grader sitting in the passenger seat. So it's a pretty cool experience.
I want to be third grader.
So that's it.
MPT, I think you can be a third grader for that day if you want to be.
We need volunteers.
We'll make a special reference.
It really is the coolest thing.
Assistant City Manager Nick McGregor.
Could you smile when he comes up?
It looks like
Yeah,
it's
Nick
bad
McGregor,
news.
please.
What was that look for?
I don't know.
Nick, I haven't seen you since I wanted to congratulate Nebraska on their bowl game.
The invisible.
Invisible.
That was a joke earlier today. I just wanted to let you, it's a couple weeks off, but December 17th, that week, Mount Pleasant Street Bridge, there's a planned closure gonna maybe happen. We'll get some more information out when we know more. They have enough completed. They have a couple of crews working on it now. They'll be bringing in the spans to attach the east abutment with that first pier there. So when they bring those in, they'll have to close Osborne for a couple of days. But since it's all precast, it's a lot of iron work to get them things fastened together. So it shouldn't take a whole lot too long, assuming we have nice weather during that time frame. So
It's still on schedule.
for the most part, I mean, we had a little bit of a setback with the demo plan and BNSF's review on it, but I would say we've caught up. They've had 3 crews working at times, so they're not messing around, that's for sure. So, and Mount Pleasant Street, the asphalt project, just we are aware of the striping issues that are going on there. We've had some fading or some peeling up of some of the striping there, and then some of the lanes aren't exactly the correct width. So next spring you'll see them come in and redo that properly. So
Hey, Nick, are you gonna be getting repaired down by the auditorium potentially this week?
no,
No?
the river's too high, 13.5. It was planned for this week. The Hawkeye hole, as I refer to it as, they're planning on pumping this week, but with the river up, and then the temperature fluctuating, I would prefer if we're gonna have the planks at the end of the hole, so they can, at the end of the storm sewer, so that way we can pump it down and they can properly do their work. I would either have it below freezing or above freezing, just because if it's below freezing, you're not gonna get any rain that's going to come down and overwhelm that storm sewer if all the planks are at the back or at the outlet to the river. I don't know when that's gonna happen. Just seeing the forecast, we kinda have to play it by ear. I don't like having that project open any longer than it has to, but we haven't really had a cooperating river to be able to get that done. But I'll let you know when it happens.
Thank you, sir. James?
You know, you mentioned the one beard, but you got 2 other folks back there that had beards for quite a while, and no one said anything about them. I don't know if they're feeling slighted or not.
I wanted to make them feel slighted, James, so.
Okay. For those who pay attention, the dome should be, over the course of the next couple of weeks, is scheduled to be going up. We'll see if that actually occurs or not, but it should be going up over the next couple of weeks.
Cool.
So it'll be interesting to see that structure as it starts to take some physical shape instead of just being some concrete out there. They are still on schedule to, they want to have substantial completion by the end of January. And I think that tentatively are looking to try to hold an event in February out there. Nick, you're on the radio on Wednesday? Correct. And you'll be talking a little bit about snow removal and that whole process. That'll also be a work session topic this next week specifically talking about the downtown area. Ooh. So we can all look forward to that. TAMA building, we've had some conversations. I know that, and the building owner has had conversations with the state trying to work through his process with what they will allow him to do. We'll have an update. He's scheduled to be here next Monday at the work session. We're also gonna have, tentatively, we plan on, Patrick said he would be here, so we should have our city attorney here next week to talk through what we can do and some of our steps too. We wanna make sure that we are allowing a process that has both schedules going on concurrently, and we did get word back from the insurance company. They've given us this certification that they've got the claim filed, and that, so we need to give a response back for getting a 10% set aside. And then make sure that, we know, make sure that we communicate to you what our code allows, what the timelines are that we can do with code. I think you'll have something in the council packet that goes out with this work, with the work session stuff this week. So you can have that in the back of your mind for what you might want to be thinking about as a response for how aggressive you want to be as a city, dependent upon what you're hearing from the developer on that site. And I think that's all I had, so.
All right then. Mayor's Tea is gonna be Friday. Is that correct, Kathleen?
Yes, Friday morning,
Friday morning at,
whatever time you want.
that's only for cool people. James, you're not invited this year.
I already knew that.
Unless you're bringing a gift, then we can talk about it. I think that's it. I believe that's it. This year's come to a close. Make sure if you do your shopping, try to do some local shopping. Get out, see somebody. You know, it's always nice to press a button, but nothing beats getting out and rubbing elbows with people and saying hello. Be nice to your neighbor. Be good citizens. It pays in the long run. All right.
I motion to close.
Please. Moved and second. Kathleen, let's do the vote.
Graham Murray,
Aye.
McCampbell,
Please.
Rinker,
Aye.
Wilson.
Aye.
In my head, I was saying it.
This meeting is
like-
adjourned. Hold on, wait till I bang this. Hold on. Okay, now you can do it. Thank you, sir. May I have some more?